Many prophets I've stated have now referenced the death angel / angel of death. Here's your prophets. This is important. Heaven's Pentecost. This is what I got this morning. We haven't had Pentecost yet. Pentecost is this weekend, per the true calendar, Julian calendar, okay? And why? Because Pope, I've said this so many times, everyone's like, oh, the calendars. Yeah, the calendars have caused confusion, but forget about the confusion. Let's just go back to what? Let's just go back to the Julian calendar, okay? It's always been about the Julian calendar. Even Randy kept bringing up the Julian calendar, okay?
I've had some about the Julian calendar, yes.
There you go. So the Julian calendar is the calendar that was made in 45 BC, and it was on the earth and Christ walked on the earth. So this is the calendar you need to be looking at, in addition to the Enoch calendar, but these are more biblical calendar. But the man's calendar you want to look at is the Julian calendar, period. Yeah, we want to still follow the dates we're looking at, but ultimately it's very important because this weekend, again, there's probably, that letter, the 17th letter of the alphabet, that's this weekend also?
Wow.
On the Julian calendar. Yeah.
Amazing.
On the Julian calendar. So this calendar is very interesting, but Heaven's Pentecost is this weekend. When did you get your prophecy about this week? Watch this week. Didn't you get it on, what day did you get it on? March 31?
Yes, March 31.
You know what this Sunday is? Pentecost, May 31.
Wow.
Just saying.
We serve an awesome God.
And I think, and as I want to say here, in addition to that, okay, God didn't tell me, he didn't tell Lori, he didn't tell anybody that he's going to strike this weekend. So if you're not going anywhere this weekend, that's between you and God, okay? But I'm just saying, March was very important because it's the new year started on Nisan 1, which was March 19th. Very important because God's going to strike in spring. I'm telling you, okay? He's going to strike in spring. Period. Why? Because it's in birth. Earth doesn't give birth to new things in wintertime, meaning like animals and stuff, okay? Right. Flowers, everything is a birthing season. He's a God of time and seasons. So he's going to birth in spring. The Enoch calendar doesn't end until June 23rd or whatever else. Again, all this is before the 4th of July anyways, okay? Yeah. But what I'm saying is that what a coincidence that this weekend is Heaven's Pentecost. That's what it's called, because per the Julian calendar. So that's very interesting. Furthermore, the Pope died at 88. And I kept wondering, there's an 8 missing, but the calculations are pointing to 88, which was last weekend, Saturday into Sunday. So 8 years and 8 months from the Revelation 12 sign was last Saturday into Sunday. But if you add an extra 8, now you got triple eights, 8, 8, 8, you get to this Sunday, Pentecost, May 31, Heaven's Pentecost.
Wow.
Well, let's add 7 more days. So 777 plus 7 more days from the Great North American Eclipse. So 4 7s this Sunday, Pentecost, Heaven's Pentecost, May 31. Luke tells us there'll be signs in the sun and the moon and the stars. If you read that Luke scripture, it literally describes the great and terrible day. Go read Luke. It's describing the great and terrible day. Again, back to Pentecost, it is literally this weekend. What does that mean? I don't know. But I find it fascinating that I've got Lori here talking about a worldwide wrecking ball. We've had so many prophecies about a God movement. So does something go down this weekend? We're going to find out together. I just know that something is expected to happen before the 4th of July. Okay, I'm going to read that. The day of vengeance, Isaiah 61, I expect to occur before the 4th of July, 2026, before America turns 250 years old. And incredibly, Trump turns 80, just like Moses was 80 when he freed Israel. He turns in June. Here's that number 17. Very interesting. Okay, there's prophecy about 17. Carolyn Dennis. 17 is important in what I will do. That was the prophecy. So we got this covenant, which is incredibly important because now God is with us. We welcome God back into America. There's bloodshed in Fiji, and within 24 hours, fish returned, crops started growing, sickness left the land. Okay, wait a second, but this happened on Pentecost, Fiji Island. happened in Pentecost, May 15, year 2005. But Pentecost happened last weekend, not heaven's Pentecost. That's this coming weekend. That's this coming weekend. I'm just telling you, this ties in with rededicating America to God. The blood sacrifice of Roe v. Wade was the triggering event that caused all the problems, the bloodshed. Okay? And when we overturned Roe v. Wade, this is what the Lord wanted me to point out today. We overturned Roe v. Wade on Haggai 1, verse 15. Haggai 1, on the 24th day of the 6th month of the second year. There was 7 planets that aligned on that day. So God aligned 7 planets on the day Roe v. Wade would be overturned. Let that sink in. In other words, he wrote the end from the beginning, Haggai 1.
Wow.
Why do I say Haggai 1? Because what follows Haggai 1 is Haggai 2. The silver is mine, the gold is mine. The latter house will be greater than the former.
Yes.
And what does the Haggai 2 say? Be strong, all you people of the Lord, declares the Lord, for work. I am with you. My spirit remains among you. Do not fear. In a little while, I will once again shake the heavens and the earth, the sea and the dry land. I will shake all nations, and I will fill this house with glory, declares the Lord Almighty.